You're listening to Wolf Spirit Radio.
Welcome to Healings and Meditations with Frank Jordan and the Earth Mind Think Tank Group. We welcome all listeners and chatters. Any questions can be called in to 1-775-657-5973. 1-775-657-5973. If you're in the chat room on Wolf Spirit Radio, which is wolfspiritradio.com/wolf chat, please post questions in uppercase letters, in capital letters. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Well, here we are with Wolf Spirit Radio and the Earth Mind Think Tank Group. Looking forward to another beautiful day in the West. There's absolutely no inclement weather anywhere that I can see on the maps. So maybe spring has finally arrived. And looking toward summer, we want to be checking closely those weather patterns out in the Pacific, we will assimilate and pull together beneficial rains as we need them. We're getting pretty adept at this, incidentally. We just need to have those folks down south pull a little harder so we can get these weather flows down lower. Because we're having a beautiful spring up here in the Northwest. Just the right amount of moisture and coming at the right times for the crops and the animals and things. But looking at the rest of the world, I asked the group before we started here what we should do for the world and for Gaia today. And Teresa came up with a good idea. She says, last time we worked with Gaia on the glaciers at the poles to slow the melting. My suggestion is we ask for assistance to clear the memory in water every time someone says global warming. Perhaps replace this memory with intent of global cooling, especially nearest to any ice. And that's a good thought, because that spontaneously came through last time, that we can cool down, we can request various weather patterns and things that'll slow down the melting of the glaciers, so we'll do that. And generally, though, things are stabilizing, getting better around the world. Earthquakes although there's a few rumbles around, they're mostly pretty normal. But let's take our awareness now into Earth Mind, where we can effectively work out there in the subtle planes of consciousness. So just get totally relaxed, hands and feet apart. Take your awareness into your forehead, and realizing that this moment of consciousness that is the active indwelling soul works directly behind the frontal lobes of the brain to give us this moment of now. That's where our moment of now comes from, is from the indwelling soul. And it also works directly with the heart center in the standing wave of consciousness to create and hold everything in form according to the uniform desire and intent of group mind consciousness. So step your awareness back one step now into the indwelling soul. It's just like reaching back, shutting off the active thoughts. Any active thoughts, just let them flow on through and on out. Don't focus any attention on them, or that jumps you right back into the conscious mind again. So in the indwelling soul, reach out this morning for an interesting experience. Reach out to your soul family, your particular soul family. And you can have dozens and hundreds of soul splits, higher soul splits, where different aspects of yourself tunes into different indwelling spirits around the world for different experiences. And those all feed back into your common family flow, we call it. So just reach out and touch your personal family. And this is a good place to go, incidentally, to find things that may be reoccurring in your life that are causing problems or emotional conflicts or likes or dislikes and things of that nature. Because it could be feeding across through your soul family, your parallel soul realities. Those had experience, that gives you a place to go in your personal clearing work when you're looking for some character or personality trait that is in the family that you find undesirable in yourself and want to clear. This is also a place where a lot of habitual things come from that may pertain to the family. Now drop back a step deeper. Just relax back down into the pineal area. This is the area, or our direct psychic center, where we can pick out someone and pinpoint something in the world we want to see or do. And just for fun, experience going out of body here for a moment in this relaxed state. We're going to go to Rich in Hawaii and be walking on the beach below his house. And Rich, you know what it feels like to be there, so you broadcast that to us. It feels to me like the weather's beautiful there today. Soft, gentle breeze. You can hear the waves lapping on the beach. Now tune into the feeling that Rich is imparting to us of just loving this beautiful place. Relax into that particular feeling that is Hawaii, of being isolated from the rest of the problems of the world, unique in the peacefulness and beauty. And in the mannerism of the people. The islands have a way of infiltrating and drawing you into them, so you become a native Hawaiian if you've been there long enough. Now bring your awareness back into yourself again and step back a step further and just feel like you're stepping backward off of a cliff, fully trusting, opening up to that great sea of consciousness that stands behind us at all times, that sea of consciousness that is the subconscious mind. And you lose all contact with the frontal lobes. All thoughts are stilled as you're listening for information to come in through the vibroports in the subtle energy system of the chakras, resonating in and through. And you can put your point of attention on any point, anywhere, and you'll feel the resonance of that somewhere on your body. So again, pick out that Hawaiian beach and you put your point of attention on it and feel in your body where that vibroport is located. And you'll feel it just as a point of attention. You're just aware of it. With a little experience and practice, you can learn how to instantaneously tune into anything, anywhere. This is a skill that's used much in dowsing that I developed when I was a big game hunter, and also dowsed for gold and mineral properties and things of that nature. I learned where to go to follow the channels out and pick up the resonance of things. Now bring your awareness back again your own inner consciousness. Drop your awareness down the spine, down to the heart center. And as you do this, you feel the unification of the chakras as you move your awareness down through the upper chakras, out of the highest self to the 0 point, and then down into the low self. And as soon as you put your attention on it, you feel the low self turn on through awareness. And here you're reaching into the physical properties of the earth and all physical things in the universe. The higher chakras are more attuned to the subtle energies, consciousness, thought, things of that nature, feelings, the emotions. The low self is attuned to our animal survival instinctive levels of consciousness. And that has to do with everything physical in the world. And take your awareness down to the root chakra. Now reach on down deeper. Reach down into the crust of the earth, into the subtle energy field that is Gaia, Mother Earth. And expand out through that field. We're going to reach now to the glaciers and the north and south poles. And there is a Devic force of consciousness that holds those glaciers in form as there is in all things. And we want to tune in and become one with that feeling of being a glacier. Just pick out one, become that glacier, and feel its ambient temperature, and will it to slow down its melting process. Just become cooler, feel your own system become cooler as you do this. Now you're working to the consciousness of Earth and of that glacier. But what is unique when you do this is when you pick out one thing that you want to work with, no matter what it is, through the resonance of that, you're in attunement to all things that have similar frequencies. So we're actually tuning into all the glaciers of the world. Cooling them off, slowing down the melting. And it might be well to visualize and feel the coolness of the water in the atmosphere, have that moisture in the atmosphere become a cooling haze that blocks a lot of the sunlight. And we extend this out into the future, putting that imprint in that time and space in the future. So until the cycle return, when the earth gets colder again, we won't lose any more or as rapidly our glaciers. Now take your awareness down into the earth and reach to Southern California into the earthquake grid. Now feel the stress in the earthquake grid. And this stress reflects the stress of the humans of California that are under constant financial stress, environmental stress, feel that stress and release that stress as you tune into it down your spine. Release that down into the earth, neutralizing it so it does not build up as stress in the fault lines. Clear the fault lines of stress. Now it's interesting as we do this because we can feel the vibraports in the body that are attuned to earthquakes. Release the stress from those vibraports. Now feel the natural stress of Earth as the Earth movements through friction causes tension and buildup that is released in minor earthquakes. Lift that energy up your spine by extending yourself through that entire Southern California area. Lift that energy up your spine, out through your crown chakra, up into the ionosphere, where we've created a golden shield around the Earth of protective energy to protect us from solar flares. And just for a moment become one with the golden grid, with your intent in it to protect the Earth, shield the Earth from electromagnetic activity. Also, we store energy here that we can use in other projects in the Earth. Now move your awareness northward to San Diego, on up to San Francisco. There's a lot of small, low-level activity, and that's what we want, is low-level activity that's not building up into a 4 or above earthquake. Come on up to the Oregon line. Now shift your awareness eastward to the Sierra Nevada mountains on the eastern side of California, all the way down to Los Angeles. And there's an increased activity through there indicating more earth pressure in the subduction zone. Lift that energy upward. Now swing your awareness eastward to the Rocky Mountains, all the way down to Las Vegas. Lift all the way up through the Yellowstone into Montana. There's a lot of activity in southern Utah at the time, down through Nevada. Minor activity, but there's also fracking activity going on there. Lift those energies upward. Go to the Yellowstone Cauldron. Feel that intense energy in the cauldron, in the lower portion of your body, in your abdomen. Lift that energy upward, relieving stress, and we reinforce the permanent energy release umbrellas that we have established there. Our intent is to maintain continually releasing umbrellas of energy coming up out of the Yellowstone, out of the cauldron, feeding that energy into our golden grid. Now take your awareness to the Pacific Northwest, the Cascade Mountain Range. There's low-range activity full length of the Cascades. Lift that energy upward, that subduction energy. And that's what created the Cascade Range. Open the ancient volcanoes. Release the subduction energy in a harmonious flow. All the way up to the Canadian line. Now move your awareness northward to Alaska, and where the Pacific Plate dives in under the Alaskan Plate, causes ongoing small earthquakes constantly. So we lift that energy upward all the way up through to Mount McKinley and above. There's some mid-range activity occurring in the Brooks Range, which could be a volcano kicking off up there. But it's in a very safe place, so we just release the energy and not be concerned about that one. Now take your awareness down into the Aleutian chain. Very low activity for that subduction zone. On eastward to the Russian Kamchatka Trench, southward to Japan. There's no activity in Japan proper, but in the southern part of the trench, there is subduction activity at Hachijima. That's a 5.3. We lift those energies, stress energies from Japan upward, spiraling them around the radioactivity and carrying the radioactivity up and transmuting it into our golden grid, into beneficial energy. Now drop your awareness down to Taiwan. There's 3 minor mid-range shocks occurring there. And on down south into the Philippines. 4.7 at Burgos, Philippines. That's ongoing activity. Many of those are volcanoes, activity in volcanoes. There's a 5.0 at Tobilo, Philippines. And we drop on down into Indonesia, the Indonesian Crescent, along the Java Trench. At Panyungan, there's a 5.0. Lift those energies upward. Now eastward to New Guinea, through that general sub-ocean fault line that raises the volcanoes, which creates the islands, on through to the Tonga Trench, and southward to New Zealand. There's a 4.7 at Castle Point, New Zealand. Lift that stress upward. Now eastward to South America and Chile and the subduction zone that's lifting the Andes Mountains. Tocopilla, 5.6. Now northward to Central America, scattering along the Pacific Trench plate of the Guatemala Basin. On the Albatross Plateau, lift that energy upward. And off of Guadalajara, there's a 6.2, which has the potential of creating tsunamis. It is in a subduction zone. And move eastward to the Dominican Republic. And the usual scattering, intense concentration of minor earthquakes in that region. And move eastward to Greece, the islands of Greece, bordering Turkey. That fault line are slipping. On southeast now to Osham, Iran, 5.1, that major fault line. And China's no activity. Move eastward back to our point of beginning. Into the central United States, where the activity from the fracking is increasing. They're moved from 2.5 up to a 3.9 now. In Oklahoma, lift those energies. Utilize that energy to neutralize the pollution from the fracking activities. Move eastward to Tennessee, Arkansas, minor activity there, only this is near the New Madrid fault, so we have to be careful to monitor that one closely. Now bring your awareness back to the point of beginning. Lift your consciousness up into the general consciousness of humankind. Extend out through that morphogenic field. We want to put our point of attention particularly on the leaders in our government, Obama and his cabinet, and they are responding to the dictation of the Illuminati and the cabal, blocking the re-evaluation of the world currencies and a shift to the gold standard. And this is becoming a very intense battle at this time. So we extend our desire and will to our leaders, willing them to let go, stop restricting the evolution of the financial world.
Require it.
Require it, absolutely. The global reset should have happened many times the last couple of weeks, but every time they block it in the United States, the rest of the world is all in compliance and ready for it to happen. But the U.S. is blocking it, and for no good reason other than the greed of those who are trying to maintain the status quo of the fiat money system. Require that they release the stranglehold they have on the world finances. That's interesting. You can feel that finances does have force. It's an incredible force. And you can feel that force. Let's send unconditional love into that force, weakening the negative potentials of finances, transmitting it to beneficial uses for finances and the money system, releasing abundance to the world. Through the power of the crisis in us, we send a flood of unconditional love into the hearts and minds of the dominators, the domination force. They've lost the battle, but they won't give up the war. Will them to release, require it. And we feel that force softening. We pull together all of humanity, the group mind conscious of all humanity, who should be the intellect of the group mind consciousness of the world, to make the decision being dominion for the world and release of domination. And so it is. Now bring your awareness back into your own world. Look at your own condition in the world and use the group consciousness of the Earth Mind Think Tank group and Wolf Spirit Radio to manifest positive, beneficial things into your life, and the resonance will extend out through all life. Extend that resonance into Earth Mind, and spread it around the world. The principles of dominion, where all are created equal, each for the benefit of the other. Particularly look at your own personal reality, at situations that could be beneficially applied, and use this energy to make a better life for yourself. And we particularly direct energy to Dave Corso, help him in his healing process. Have Dave in a whirlwind of energy, healing energy, releasing any detrimental factors in his system. So we wrap him with unconditional love. We clear from Dave the opposition forces that would limit his work in the broadcast systems, that would we release and clear any negative opposition force activities in Dave's life, in his reality, and in his health. Clear it out. Send the voice of unconditional love to the source of those opposition energies that are attacking Dave and have been for some time. And we clear the darkness, bring Dave into the light. Fill his heart with love. Bring your awareness back up through your own system now. Direct healing intent to anyone you know who needs it, or to yourselves. As we shift our consciousness to the healing frequencies. Bring your awareness on up your spine and out into your conscious mind. In this moment of now, step back out into this physical reality, feeling much happier, more healthy, full of vital life. Okay, Dave, we're back.
Okay, Frank.
How do you feel?
That's a good question. I feel like something's happening, but I'm not sure what.
It's subtle energy, so it's hard to express it. And we're still pouring it into you. You should feel it quite strongly. My hands are hot. I think everyone's is directed to you.
Yeah, my hands are red too.
Interesting. I hear the galactic tones, the earth tones.
Maybe Rachel can give us a tone this morning. My voice is the pits right now.
Mm-hmm. Rachel, we have some time. Would you do a healing tone for Dave?
Sure.
His reality?
Okay, this is for Dave. Makutori shaleme anama. Neko shelema kundere anakinya.
Thank you, Rachel. We all felt that one. It was beautiful. Did that tone you up, Dave?
Boy, it sure did.
Okay. Well, does anyone have anything you'd like to contribute today?
Frank, there was something I was getting around when you were doing the financial clearing. I got that the religions are also very much tied into this, and that it too needs to be cleared and released. It's like all intertwined.
Here. That's true. Okay, with the power of this group, you're simply saying that it's causing a release. It's all happening. It's happening quite rapidly now. We just have to keep the focus of our intent and the power of our will. And it will happen. It is happened. It's already happened. Well, okay, if there's nothing else, we will be on our way, Dave. And we'll go to the Stellar group with the Earthmind group, and it'll take me a minute or two to start the other computer, everyone, and so...
And would you please drop Tracy out of this group?
I thought I did.
No, you got to right-click it and remove.
Tracy, where is she?
And we'll be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time with...
Healings and Meditations. All right. Thanks, Dave.